Most traders blow accounts by chasing big wins fast. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you what literally 20 pips can do for your account and how you can actually scale your $1,000 or even a $500 account fast. This is the same strategy, concept, and method I teach my students, but what I'm gonna be doing is breaking down that same setup for you, show you why only 20 pips matters than 30, 40, 80 pips, and this is all you would need to scale fast and grow fast. So if you don't know who I am, I go by Solo ETV, and on my YouTube channel, we talk about how to scale and how to grow small accounts, large accounts. It doesn't even matter, but we talk about proper structure, plan execution, and all the above. I even took a $4,000 to $40,000 here on my YouTube live stream to show you guys living proof by following a plan, you can execute anything if you stick to your fucking plan. So let's go ahead and get straight to it. So let me show you a side-by-side of what 20 pips literally can do if you're trading 3 different assets. Look right here. I have this USOIL pip calculator and I have the entry point and the exit point for this trade that we actually took earlier this morning. This is literally 22 pips. And if you're doing 10 lots, which is this is what I do on my account, that is easily $2,290. So realistically, depending on the broker you're using, this could be something a little bit less. Regardless of the fact is you can scale this account fast. Now, the reason why I'm going to recommend you go big with your account and not small, like $100 is really not going to do much, to be honest with you. But if you at least going with the $1,000 or even a $5,000 account, you can do like 1 lots like it's nothing. That's only $229 per 20 pips. Let's just say you wanted to do 2 trades. That's what I do off of 1 setup. And let's just say you go for 5 lots. So you probably do like a 2.5 each. And then you go for 5 lots. You're looking at $1,000 for the day. I would personally say trade 5 lots is a lot better, but you do need an account to do it. Let me show you what and how to actually trade this 20 pips correctly and start scaling your account. All right, so let's talk about why this rule matters. Problem with chasing 50 to 100 pips, you're over leveraging, you're over stressing, and your win rate will be actually a lot lower. If you just stick to a simple rule of 20 pips daily, consistency, easy targets, less exposure, and compounding power, this will literally scale your account for these 3 different assets. The step-by-step blueprint is step 1. We're going to pick high probability pairs or assets that you guys can actually trade depending on what type of trader you are. If you like commodities or if you like indices, if you trade futures, okay. If you trade Forex, okay. If you trade commodities, okay. This is going to work for all of you guys. And then step 2, we're going to focus on 1 window. And this is literally going to be the London breakout or New York opening overlapping London session. This is probably the best time to trade for anybody that is trading Forex and futures within the same time frame. And then also step 3, you're going to wait for liquidity sweeps falling into my Fibonacci strategy that I talk about, which is going to be the 44 and the 618. And I'm going to break down that in a little bit. And then step 4, enter with tight stop loss, aim for 20 pips only. This is literally all you guys need. And then step 5, walk away, don't overtrade. Let's get to it. So the first one we're going to be paying attention to is US crude oil, one of my personal favorites and really the only one that I like to focus on majority of the time of trading. Why it works: oil has clean 15 or 40 pip moves during New York session, and literally you can catch this like it's clockwork. Lower spreads versus indices, tighter price action. So that being said, when it comes to trading oil or even the other 2 I'm gonna bring up, it is important to understand that you do need a broker to properly trade this with. I personally use GateFX for a couple reasons. 1, if you have a $1,000 account, this is probably going to be the best option to go because you're able to sign up with the 100% deposit bonus with Tradelocker, which will give you the ability to trade with more equity, just like a prop firm account. Also, if that's not something you want to do, you can even go with a higher leverage of 1 to 1,000. This is actually what I do with my actual account. I have a raw ECN account and I go for the 1 to 1,000, which gives me a little bit more leverage. Now, if you want fast execution, fast withdrawals, and a really good trading platform to trade with, you can go with Tradelocker. And they also have the option with MT5 for non-USA clients. Other than that, this is something you can use to start trading today. And this is what we're going to be using to be trading and showing you guys how this will work. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the actual rules. How to trade the 20 pips with US oil. The best window is literally going to be 9:30 to 11 a.m. Eastern time. For me personally, at 8 o'clock, I'm still sleeping, but at 8:45 a.m. is like the window I need to be seeing my setups. This is usually prime time for oil. And then you always look for liquidity sweeps, grabbing within that 50% of the pullback or the 44%. And that is when you're going to be able to start catching some of these trades. And then entry is going to be after the sweep of the previous highs or the previous lows. And then your targets is going to be 20 pips plus, which equals 200 at 10 lots you're basically crushing it there. So coming into the charts, you see that we have oil here, and this is London session, which is the orange, and this is New York, which is the green. Look right here, we had liquidity. I always look for liquidity off of 15 to 1 hour, preferably 15-minute, because I get a lot of details and I scalp the market. And when you see equals, and it doesn't have to be spot on perfect, but it has to be within this entire bracket of almost like a liquidity pool or liquidity trap, which is this here. You can even draw this out and use this as your visualization of your liquidity. We need to see it sweep that, and essentially, in most of the time, it will sweep it literally during the beginning of New York or close to the end of London, overlapping into New York. And the same exact thing happened on Sunday opening, going into Monday. We had it here. The exact same play also happened here, which is around the same time. So oil does this essentially all the time, and it's a pattern that I've been noticing for trading this literally for the past 3 years. What we do is take that in our advantage, and we utilize that in our full advantage to start looking for setups. So then now, once we get the sweep, we then wait on either you can take the trade. Once the sweep happens, you literally enter once you start to see the engulfing candle. And that move would have been this play right here. Your stop loss literally would have been the entry about couple pips from the entry of that candle. And you always want to go for the 101 and always go for also the 1 to 3, just in case a move like this happened, which it did. So if I was to go on a 15 or the 1 hour scale and I see that the overall is going down and we had liquidity here, but this was the vice versa, like what it happened here and it happened here, best believe your 1 to 3s is going to crush. You could probably even go for a 1 to 5 at this point, just like what happened here. A lot of these plays can happen very easily and effectively when trading right. Now let's talk about my other favorite, which is Nasdaq. Nasdaq is one of those that I don't trade as often, but if I really want to get down and look for some index pairs to trade, this is the one I will be touching along with another one. But this is the one we're going to be talking about because this is a lot easier to catch 20 pips really quick. Why this works: instant volatility. You guys know with Nasdaq, you're catching these moves like that, and they're not like gold spikes. They're not like they're like, hey, we're up, a little pullback, we're up, a little pullback. Like the momentum of this is crazy. How we're going to be trading this is quite simple. We are going to be looking for 8:45 to 10:15 a.m. Eastern time. This is pre-New York plus cash opening hours. And then you want to look for the setup is look for liquidity sweeps on a 1 minute and or 5 minute, and you enter on a failed pullback. The reason why I'm going for the 1 minute is because remember, Nasdaq likes to literally play this move. Boom, a little pullback, boom, a little pullback, boom. But when you get that bigger pullback, expect the next boom to happen. We can't catch every move, and we're not here to catch every move. We just need one move to look for 20 pips, and that is it. Let me show you how this will look with Nasdaq. All right, so if you look here, we have equals, and I'm on a 5-minute time frame, and all we're waiting for is to either have a break to the upside or the downside. We had equal here and an equal here. During pre-New York, which is basically this time here, going into here, now you can start looking for your entries. We're gonna look for our entries either on the 2 minute or the 1 minute. I prefer the 2 minute just because it's in between a 5 and a 1, gives you a little bit more better setups in my personal opinion. But regardless, all we're looking for is market to sweep the liquidity off of that quick London move. And then once it does, you wait for a bullish or a bearish engulfing candle, which is this move right here. And we're just going to short this one, and our entry is literally going to be there. And all we're looking for is 20 pips, 20 points, whatever you guys want to go for. And as you see, this little quick move literally would have been a game changer for your account, especially if it's $1,000, $5,000 account. If you're using Gates and you get that bonus, this one can quadruple your money. You had another setup. If you missed this one, you had the exact same setup. As you see, liquidity is down here. We took that out, and then we got our bullish engulfing. We had one here and one here. Let's just go ahead and play out both. Regardless, they would have had mat regardless of the situation. Literally, you could put your stop loss here, and then 20 pips, you would have probably made it easily right here. If you missed that one, you had another setup. Stop loss is literally a couple of pips away from that. 20 pips, you're easily banking that there. This is all you guys need to really make profits if you really want to make this work fast. Now let's get into a Forex pair, which is the beast, GBP yen. Why this works is known for explosive moves, 60 to 100 pips in London. You're easily banking this. The reason why I put GJ here is because I know the other two are mainly during New York, but we have some people that trade during London session. This is going to be a breadwinner for you. 20 pips comes fast. And if you catch it in the right direction, talk about momentum, you got it. How to trade this for the 20 pips, best window is going to be 3 to 5 a.m. Eastern time, London breakouts. The setup is going to be the exact same play with Nasdaq. Equal highs, equal lows, plus the sweep, plus re-entry. You can catch this on a 5-minute and even a 15-minute time frame for the liquidity, equal highs and equal lows. Your target is going to be 20 pips, and you just let that jump run all the way through. And that right there is how you can really scale and grow an account properly. Now, guys, at any time, if you feel like you don't understand what is going on, this is why I say subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I drop a lot of free gems for you guys. If you want access to my free trading plans, also access to our newsletter of everything that I drop from gems, of why I got in this trade, why you shouldn't got in this trade, or just all educational content, subscribe to it. It is going to be down below, called soloetv.com. Other than that, guys, once again, make sure you tune in with Trade with Solo if you want to get into our community. And I appreciate the love, support. Your boy Solo, I'm out. Peace.